Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us again for another wonderful filmmaker interview. I'm your host, Sophia Lucia Parola. From March 27th through March 30th, you can come to the 23rd Annual Garden State Film Festival back at Asbury Park, New Jersey and Cranford, New Jersey. We have over like 200 films this year from all various types of places, from people, stories, various types of films, pilots, projects, you name it, animations. We got a bunch. You can check out our lineup and any tickets at gsff.org. And we are here talking about the short film Cecilia's Ship. Here to talk with us is Brett McKee and Jackie Lakowski. Jackie and Brett, hello.
Hi,
Hi.
how are you?
I'm doing well. How you guys doing?
Doing great, thank
Great.
you.
Congratulations on making Cecilia's Ship and getting accepted to Garden State Film Festival. How you
Thank
guys
you.
feeling about coming this year and the acceptance?
Oh, we're so excited. Yeah, we can't wait. It's gonna be quite the experience.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is our first festival experience, actually. So
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, what an honor. The first festival experience will be at Garden State Film Festival. Is
Yeah.
Cecilia's Ship this is like a directing debut for you, Brett, or anything, a writing debut for you, Jackie, or no, we've made some stuff?
That's a good question. For me as a writer, this is my first short that's debuted at a film festival as a writer.
Wow.
Got you.
this is I've had a film, but it was a co-directing thing. And but as far as like I've directed like a couple music videos before, but
Mhm.
as far as like a actual short film, this is the first sort of, I guess, solo director film project. Yeah.
Wow. I'm shocked after watching Cecilia's Ship. Never would have thought that, but that's amazing. And that wasn't even my first question. First, tell me about you guys. So Jackie, you were writer and producer. Brett, you were director and producer. First, can we like what is Cecilia's Ship? Can you tell the audiences a little bit about what they can see if they come see it at Garden State Film Festival?
Sure. Do you want to talk or do you want?
Yeah. Well, it's basically, I guess, sort of a zoom in or a hyper focus on a personal traumatic experience, relationship of a mother and daughter.
Yeah, and learning how to let go or accept certain fates that are impending. And as a writer, I was inspired to write it. Actually, because growing up, I was a huge fan of The Twilight Zone, the original.
Mm.
And there was an episode about a young couple that boards a ship accidentally that's meant to take older people to the great beyond. And I always kind of like that metaphor of death. Like you're kind of going almost like on a cruise and you're boarding a ship with other souls to a much better place at peace. And I think that's what the ship, that's what the film is about. Is about the mother just needing some kind of metaphor to accept that her daughter is going to be better off somewhere else and no longer with her, which is a hard thing for a parent to accept.
Absolutely. And I love that, like, even the description is like, okay, let me see this because I want to see more because it's like complex, even the description. And the film is a lot like that. It's a beautiful story and very relatable, but the film itself, the way it's told is very different and intriguing. And the timeline is right. It's a little it's like an art piece. So what, Jackie, as a writer, did you kind of write it like that, or is that something that you guys directed and edited in the and post or after the script?
So that's a good question. It's a little bit of both. When I wrote it, I also was inspired by certain music.
Mm.
I often listen to music while I write, and it was Jonesy and Alex Rice Boy Sleeps. I listened to that album, and what happened was Brett and I had met in an acting class, and he had told me he had directed. I said, "Oh, that's funny. Like I actually want to be a writer, and I've written a bunch of scripts." And he said, "Oh, like can I take a look at a few?" So he read that one and really liked it, and he's like, "I feel like we could make this. Like we could do something with this." And I said, "Yeah, if you want, I could also send you the album that I listened to. So if you want to
Mm.
get a little inspiration to see where I was coming from." And he listened to it. And yeah, all of a sudden it was out without me having to say or do anything. I just kind of gave him full reign as a
Mm.
director, just gave him total artistic control. And it came out exactly as I envisioned. I think we were
Wow.
just kind of on the same wavelength with that. And, I think it helped that artistically we have the same interest in film. And yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy because if I think most directors you'll talk to, if they're not writer director, or closely, somehow connected with the writer, there can be a lot of a lot of friction sometimes between what the writer envisioned and then what the director envisions. And Jackie and I instantly, there was just a trust there that she knew that I respected her script enough that I wanted to do it justice, but she trusted me enough to just say, hey, do what you want with it. And it just kind of came together. It was, I guess it was our strike project, basically. I said, hey, look, this is 6 pages, 6.5 pages or something. I was like, we can produce this. And I know a lot of people right now who aren't working. So that was an interesting balance. But yeah, it was an interesting process. And first time working together on something, and just, you know, that flow in and of itself can either make a project or derail it. And if for nothing else, the fact that we wanted the people who were involved to be proud of it. We wanted them to, you know, a lot of short films, sometimes the biggest thing is, hey, whatever happened to that project we worked on? And it just doesn't get finished, or it gets finished and the person tried to go 25 minutes. And it was like, well, you could have, with the same amount of effort and resources, done 4 minutes of something, I don't know, a little bit more impactful than 25 minutes of kind of going on and on. So I think that was our goal. We wanted to be as professional as possible. We wanted it to be as concise as possible, and just get right to the heart of it, I guess.
Lovely. I love that. And speaking of, you know, just getting it, like it was you guys working well to each other. You were open to his ideas. You guys did your vision. Did you guys have a conversation about some inspiration? Because there's a very clear tone, right? And like, even looking at it, the mood, it's all very stylized and beautiful. Really just beautiful. What was that conversation like? What were some of those inspirations? Was that something you talked about? Did that come from your direction, Brett? Like, what was some of that like?
Well, and you know, it did, but it was also, again, that wouldn't have come without the source material. And I was bouncing everything off of Jackie. So anything I came up with was definitely like hey, are you okay if we do it like this or this? And, you know, the music was a big starter. Music is very important to me. I love it. I love the use of music in films. I've always been inspired by like Michael Mann, who can take a song, so not just the score, but an actual song, and somehow weave it into the story. And Jackie's also very musical. So I tried to listen to the album that she sent, and then I started kind of making up my own playlist. And then I use Shot Deck quite a bit, so I could go through there and kind of get work out some of the technical details as far as tone, like, oh, in this shot, let's try to use a 35, or hey, let's go super close up in this moment for this beat. And started using Shot Deck to kind of sort of previs out kind of a text storyboard in a way. And then that, along with the music, then we had something to present to the actors and say like, hey, we've got a concise idea. And it just was, I'd like to say that we just knew what we were doing from the beginning, but we didn't. And I think we had, like you said, the tone, we had that, and we just kind of went moment by moment and just kept sort of checking like, hey, does this decision support that initial thing that we said we were going after, or that feeling that we want to evoke in the audience.
And you guys both produced this. There's some beautiful location. I'm not sure if that was on location or if it was like CGI. I don't know, but you both produced this. So talk to me about finding the locations. How long did it, you said this was a time a lot of people were working. So when did you guys make this? How long did it take? And talk to me about that location you guys were at, if we can talk about it.
Yeah, a lot of that was him. Yeah.
Well, so Jackie and we, you know, like she said, we met in acting class. We were like at our last showcase night, and it's like, hey, look, so there's strikes. I need to go back to Atlanta for a little while, because of being in New York is expensive if you're not working. And I think it's expensive if you are working. So I was like, I'm gonna go back to Atlanta for a little while. And luckily I have some people renting my place back there. So I had a safe place to go to. And that's also where a lot of my networking people are. Mostly it's, you know, stunt people, and then people sort of adjacent to that. So then we go out and try to shoot different things at times. So Jackie is really good at writing emails as well as you know, scripts. But So she and I were just doing a lot of Zoom calls like this, and a lot of back and forth with that. So a lot of the production, she was helping really organize, and then I would go do more boots on the ground kind of things, like, oh, great, let's go pick up that boat on Facebook Marketplace. That was an actual location, and it was CGI. So Kevin, a good friend of mine, he shot and edited it, and I've worked with him on a lot of different things. He and I have the same sort of philosophy that if you're going to use CGI, you've got to kind of mix the lie with the truth, and use CGI to enhance what's already there. So we got the actress Mia out on an actual boat, and we had stunt people out there in the water. Got the boat off Facebook. We had to go through the whole, testing it out. And we had a tech day, and we went out and practiced what we were going to maybe do, what could work with adding the ship in after. And luckily, we got a guy from Georgia Special Effects. He came out. He liked the script. He liked the idea. He liked the awareness that we were kind of trying to bring to the table with, the trauma aspect of it and childhood cancer. So he donated an entire team to come out. We shot that at Nick's place. Nick played the doctor in there, but he's also a stunt friend, and we've done some acting together and stuff. So he let us use his property. He's got this beautiful pond that's like a lake back there. So we literally had the special effects team out there at 5 a.m. setting up, and the goal was we want to be ready to shoot before the sun rises. And he had this thing, it was called the Arm of Death, and he brought two of them, and he uses it for horror films, but it makes an insane amount of fog, and it donated that to us. That would have cost probably about $5,000, and he donated that for the day. We did a short piece, promo piece for him that he could use for his company, but it just made this wall, and it gave this really eerie effect. And then he had another device for when you see some of the close-ups of the feet walking, where it was sort of creeper, so it wouldn't dissipate. It's amazing how specific these people are with fog. So we used some of that, and then Kevin used in a little bit, of VFX in the end, so that we could sort of match that up. I think coloring helped with it a little bit too, but we got some really, even just some of the raw shots that people got with their camera on set were really kind of cool and eerie, and
love movie magic. So we're running out of time here, but Jackie, I want to hear from you. This was your original seed of idea. You wrote this. Obviously, you could tell it's important to you, and it came from a beautiful place. And you said that vision, it's exactly how you envisioned it. What do you love about telling stories? Why do you want audiences to come see this story? What are your hopes for audiences watching Cecilia's Ship?
That's a good question. I like being able to convey some sort of emotion from somebody, whether it's crying, whether it's laughing. I mean, the worst feeling as a writer is to write a story, tell a story, and then somebody's like, meh, it's okay. I think that's the worst. I'd rather have somebody hate it than somebody just think it's forgettable. So I as a storyteller, I like to tell a story, whether it's something really funny, really dramatic, something that stays with you, that makes you think, and something that's relatable. Because I remember part of the reason I was inspired to write this as well is, I had mentioned the Twilight Zone episode, but also I just remember speaking to my mother, because I know a few people that watched their parents pass on, and it was very traumatic for them. And I talked to my mom about that. She went through that with her dad. And she goes, well, I'll tell you what, though. She goes, as traumatic as it was, as a mother, I couldn't imagine losing a child. My heart always goes out to a parent that loses a child. That's the worst thing. So I think, this story was about just inspired by my mom saying that, by that Twilight Zone episode, a combination of things, and just the idea of, okay, well, what if you are able to say goodbye to your child and accept it and be at peace with it? And what's a good metaphor for that? So that's kind of the story went with that. And my hope is to convey some sort of emotion for somebody. Maybe somebody can relate to that.
Beautiful. And I couldn't agree more. I would rather have someone hate something I wrote than like just be like, whatever, like
Yeah.
any of those, any feeling. Oh, I
Right.
love that. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you both so much. Will you both be at Garden State Film Festival?
Yeah.
We will both
Yeah.
be there, Bill.
Yeah, we wouldn't miss this, especially being our
Yes, it's
first.
first.
We're like, we got to do it. So
Oh
Exactly.
my gosh, amazing. Well, it has been an honor talking to you both. I'm so excited for you guys to show Cecilia's Ship at this year's 23rd Garden State Film Festival. Let me tell everyone watching how you can see it. It will be playing at, I forgot to write it down, so I'm gonna look right here. Saturday, March 29th at the Berkeley Hotel Berkeley Hotel, 2:30 p.m. to 4:45 p.m. I hope I didn't mess any of that up. And if I did, go on gsff.org, look for Cecilia's Ship. You can get individual tickets to see it. You can get a weekend pass, Parkway pass. All the tickets are all on there. And you definitely want to RSVP for that gala night, filmmakers night, and the awards banquet. So definitely check it all out. Jackie, Brett, congratulations again. Thank you. And we will see you at the
thank you so much.
Thank you
We
so
appreciate
much.
it. Thanks,
Thank
Christian.
you. Thank
My
you.
pleasure. Thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.